Brent Venables, Jim Nagy, and the Oklahoma Sooners are playing the bad guy this recruiting season here in the 26 recruiting cycle as the Oklahoma Sooners pulled off a flip just a couple days ago, but they pulled off another flip from SMU today for an elite prospect on the defensive side of the ball. So, of course, we got to talk about that, break it down, but here's the deal. This isn't it. The Oklahoma Sooners still have other targets that they want to go out there and grab. So later this week, we're going to talk about some other targets that Oklahoma is still trying to flip. And listen, this weekend, Oklahoma is going to have a surprise or two on campus. So you're going to want to keep your ears and your eyes to the ground to see who is going to be visiting the University of Oklahoma. So jump in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are about Oklahoma's recent commitment of Markeel Ford, who was committed to the SMU Mustangs all the way back since April. Now, for those who aren't familiar with Markeel Ford's recruitment, this is one where it felt like Oklahoma early in the recruiting cycle might be able to win his recruitment. But then it felt like Texas A&M started to gain a lot of ground. But with the traction that SMU has had with Rhett Lashley, they've become more and more of a problem for the likes of Oklahoma and Texas A&M for that area. And this is going to be a team that Oklahoma is going to be recruiting against probably for the foreseeable future, especially with how on the rise SMU has been under the helm of Rhett Lashley. But Markeel Ford committed up there, 6 foot, 190 pound. You can call him a safety or cornerback, played a little bit on the offensive side of the ball, out of Mesquite Horn High School in Mesquite, Texas. 247 currently has him as the 820th ranked player in the composite rankings. But let me tell you, this dude does not play like the 820th ranked player. He plays like maybe a top 300 guy. And for all those that want to jump in the comments and say 3-star you, some of the best players on the team for Oklahoma right now were former 3-stars. So you don't have to have your team littered with 5-stars, proven Texas A&M a couple of years ago. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Finding a bunch of really talented 3-star guys, they could turn out to be elite level prospects. But Kid had over 37 offers. And when you go look at the offer sheet, he kind of had them from the anybody that's anybody. This past season, he had 7 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, 18 tackles. 12 of those were solo, 6 assists. And then on the offensive side of the ball, 367 yards and 6 touchdowns. I believe that was just in his district, potentially. I think I was kind of pulling those stats from his Twitter. So I don't know if those were just from his district or if those were for the whole season. But Markeel Ford, this is a really big pickup for the Oklahoma Sooners. You know, they were really looking for another safety target. Obviously, with Caden Hall going to Florida, didn't really seem like he was going to wane from that commitment. Florida has done a really good job after losing Billy Napier of keeping a lot of these guys on board. Maybe that's a sign of who's to come at Florida in terms of the head coach job. But Markeel Ford is going to be a phenomenal addition for Oklahoma. And this now brings Oklahoma up to the number 14th class in the country with a 249.35 composite score and 23 total commits. Now, here's the deal. With kind of how everything is shaping out, with staff going after people, we might see another decommitment or two. But I expect probably another 3, 4, maybe even 5 commitments for Oklahoma. Jaden Pettit is definitely still a big-time target for Oklahoma at the wide receiver position, which at this point, it's kind of like really tired of talking about Jaden Pettit because he's not committed yet. But from everybody that I've talked to, it really sounds like Oklahoma still feels good about that. And this might not be something until we hear anything newsworthy on his commitment until early National Signing Day. Do we call it early anymore? Is it just National Signing Day? Whatever you want to call it, right? I don't think we're going to see anything with him newsworthy until that day, which, hey, you know what? It'd be nice for Oklahoma to have a National Signing Day flip. Additionally, out of Jaden Pettit, you're looking at Noah Abebe out of Friendswood, Texas, currently committed to Tulane. That's a prospect that Oklahoma is still fighting for. Remember, he's a converted tight end. So I think a lot of raw upside ability for what he's able to do on the offensive line. Really interesting, though, like if John Sumrall gets the Auburn job, like What's going to happen with that Tulane class? Does he try to pull a guy like Noah Abebe to that class? So I'm really intrigued to kind of see what happens with John Sumrall and where he ends up going. But Noah Abebe, I think I'd have to go back and look at the list. I think he's visiting this weekend. So maybe we'll have some good news after the game against LSU. But additionally, you had Dane Bathurst, who did visit Oklahoma this past weekend for the Missouri game, the 6'3", 230-pound linebacker out of Carmel, Indiana, of Carmel High School. Remember, this is a guy that Oklahoma feels really good about. I feel really good about him. I believe there's been quite a few predictions for Dane Bathurst to end up at Oklahoma. So, listen, if you're an Oklahoma fan, I think, although Dane Bathurst isn't a true flip, he did decommit after Oklahoma started really snooping from him. He decommitted from Duke. Vanderbilt is in the mix as well. But the Oklahoma Sooners definitely still have plenty of targets on the recruiting trail. And like I said, keep your eyes open. Keep watching the channel. If you're not subscribed, you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed. Really great showing from you guys on the last video, but it's down to like 62% of you guys that watch these videos are not subscribed. So check the subscribe button. Make sure that you're a part of this community, because we're going to talk about some of those surprises after they officially announce they're coming. We already know who a couple of them are, but hey, you know what? If you kind of want to be in the know, all you got to do is kind of take a look around the college football landscape and look at what coaches are leaving, what coaches are rumored to leave, and you can kind of put two and two together of who might want to come visit Oklahoma and see what's going on here. So join the discussion, jump in the comments below. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you all next time.